Welcome to this video. I'm teacher Mark from Kangaroo Study, and for this video, we're going to cover the PSLE past paper solution year 2017, paper 1, question 13. But this question is a travel problem, but quite unique travel problem because what we used to have is one people's travel problem. What happens if we're going to deal with two of them? So before we do this question, let's bring you several examples to understand this. So for example, what we have is a Batman and a Superman. And the speed for Batman and Superman, what we know is 2 kilometers every minute for Batman, and it's really fast. But for Superman, it's even faster. We have 10 kilometers every minute. That's so fast. And then one day they decide to meet to each other, and the distance between them had the distance of 60 kilometers in total. And now for Batman, you meet up with Superman, they both need to travel a certain distance. For example, the Batman will travel blue part, and Superman, of course, will travel longer, and they finally met up at this point. Now, my question is, if they start at the same time, what should be the time when they met up? Now, let me bring you how to solve this one. For example, the blue part represents what? The blue part represents the distance that Batman needs to travel, and the red line represents the distance Superman needs to travel. And if we combine them together, what's the distance? Oh, 60 kilometers. So the 60 kilometers represent as the total distance that they will combine travel. Now, how about the speed? So for Batman's speed is 2 kilometers every minute. So we can also understand in another way that in 1 minute, Batman can travel how many distance? 2 kilometers. So how about Superman? In 1 minute, Superman will travel 10 kilometers. So in just 1 minute, they will combine travel how many distance? Oh, it's actually the sum of distance traveled in 1 minute. It should be 2 plus 10 to give us 12 kilometers every minute. So in just 1 minute, they will combine travel 12 kilometers, and they need to combine travel a total of 60 kilometers. Now, what should be the calculation to find the time for them to meet up? Yes, it should be the time when they met up is simply 60 divided by 12, give us 5 minutes. Now what can be the meaning of this equation? So the 60 means the distance for them both travel. So we call it as the distance sum. And 12 is what? 12 is the speed for both of them combined together, and we call it as the speed sum. And 5 is simply the time for them to meet up. So in that case, we have the time. And now we can get an equation from here. The distance sum do what to the speed sum? We can get the time. Hey, very good. It should be divided. So distance sum divided by the speed sum, we can get the time information. Now, that's one of the case. What happens if you give it another one? For example, this time, Batman decided to change another transportation, which will be the plane. And now he had the speed of 60 kilometers every minute now, even more faster. And then that means the distance travel for Batman will be slightly longer than usual, and Superman will be travel a little bit shorter in ratio. And then the time for them to meet up need to use a total of 5 minutes. So they will both use 5 minutes to meet up at this point. My question is, what should be the distance between them now? Actually, we can understand in another way so that, see, we know the speed and the time for Batman, and we know the speed and time for the Superman. So we can actually find the blue distance and red distance by using simply time times speed give us distance to find them separately and then combine them all together. Or another way of thinking, in just 1 minute, they will be combined travel how many distance? Oh, actually, the sum of distance travel in 1 minute is to be 6 plus 10 give us 16 kilometers every minute. So we combine travel 16 kilometers every minute and total travel of 5 minutes. So what should be the distance they combine travel together? So the total distance travel will be 16 times 5 to give us 18 kilometers. So that's how we find the distance between them now. And what can be the meaning of this 16? It's actually the sum of the speed. So the combined distance they will be both traveling in just 1 minute. And the 5 just simply represent the time for them to meet up. And 80 represent as the total distance they will both travel. The blue plus the red equals to 80 kilometers. So this represents the distance sum. So we get another equation so that the speed sum times this time, they give us the distance sum. Now, what happens if another day that Flash want to join this competition? And for Flash speed, we don't know yet. But what we know is they have the distance of 100 kilometers, and the speed for them to match up need to just use 4 minutes. Now, how can find Flash speed? That's the question. Now, someone may realize that for Superman, we already know the speed and time. So in that case, we can find what's the distance for the red line, and then we can find the blue part by using the 100 minus this part, minus the red. And then finally, we can get Flash speed. But how about let's think of it another way. So the blue plus the red combine together to have how many distance? So 100 kilometers. So in just 4 minutes, there will be combined travel total of 100 kilometers. So in 1 minute, they will combine travel how many distance? Yes, the sum of distance traveled in just 1 minute. Now it should be 100 divided by 4 to give us 25 kilometers every minute. So this means what? So in just 1 minute, they will combine travel 25 kilometers. And for Superman, will be travel 10 kilometers in that 1 minute. How about Flash? So in terms of to find the Flash speed, what we can get is by using the distance sum divided by the time to give us the sum of they combine together. And to find Flash speed, we can use the 25 minus the speed of the Superman to give us the speed of the Flash. So in that case, what calculation can we get here? The distance sum divided by the time to give us the speed sum. And in order to get the individual speed, we need to use the speed sum minus the individual speed to give us another one speed. So that's the three equations what we get. So what can we get from this three equation here? Is that if we know any of the two values, we can get the third one is what we call as know two get one. And since this kind of question is they both have the distance and they travel towards each other. So the direction they are traveling have what kind of relationships? They're opposite and moving towards each other and finally met up. So we are calling this kind of question as a meeting up problem. And now, how can we understand and memorize all these three equations better? Now, similarly like this triangle, we adjust a bit. So in that case, this S represents as distance sum, and for SS represents as speed sum. So in that case, if you need to find the distance sum, you can just hide this part, and speed sum times time, you can get distance sum. Now, by understanding this, let's try to look at the actual PSLE question. Over here, we have Jack and Kira start their work around a 6-kilometer track at 8 a.m. So we have the total distance of the track, 6 kilometers, and the time, 8 a.m. And then they start at the same point but went in the opposite directions. And Jack's walking speed was 5 kilometers every hour, and Kira was 4 kilometers every hour. So we get a speed for Jack and Kira, and they did not change the speed throughout. And the question is asking, at what time did they first pass through each other? So what does it mean by they first pass each other? See, Jack and Kira, they're doing the opposite direction, and finally they will be doing what? And it's also a circular track. So in that case, they will be finally met up to each other at this point of time. At this point, for example. Now the question is, at what time? So first of all, what type of question is this now? They are doing in the opposite direction, and they will finally meet up. So it's also a meeting up problem. So how you can find the time? Yes, by finding the speed sum and the distance sum. So Jack can travel 5 kilometers every hour. So in that case, 1 hour, Jack can travel 5 kilometers. Kira, 4 kilometers. So inside 1 hour, there will be combined travel how many distance? Oh, inside 1 hour, they will combine travel. The sum of distance traveled in 1 hour is 4 plus 5, give us 9 kilometers every hour. So that's the sum of the speed. So what should be the total distance they both travel? Since they made up that at this point of time, so the distance Kira traveled will be until this time, until here, and Jack will be also until here. So the distance combined is just the distance of the track, which is 6 kilometers. So in that case, how we can find the time? Very simple. The time when they met up is 60 kilometers divided by the 9, give us 2/3 hours. Now we get time equals to 2/3 hours. But is that the final answer? At what time did they first pass each other? Oh, it's asking for the specific time. It's not the time duration. So we know it's in 8 a.m. Now, what time duration for them to meet up? Is it better to make it into hours or make it into minutes? Yes, it's better into minutes. So let's transfer to 2/3 hours into minutes, which refers to 2/3 times 60. Because 1 hour, we have how many minutes? 60 minutes. So times 60, we can simply get the number of minutes, which is 40 minutes. So starting from 8 a.m., passing 40 minutes, which is very simple. We should be end with 8:40 a.m. So the answer will be just 8:40 a.m. Now we have solved this question. And let's do a summarize for this video. So the main point of this video is by knowing the meeting out problem. So what's inside the meeting out problem? So two people are walking towards each other, which is opposite directions, and they will finally meet up to each other. And that is called meeting out problem. And the main equation here, what we get is the speed sum times time to give us distance sum. And we also know that from these three values, if we know any of the two values, we can get the third one is what we call as know 2, get 1. So that's basically it for this video. And if you want to learn more about PSLE, you can try to scan this QR code to join our study group. And see you soon in our next video. Bye.